Alright, this month we have Retrace 96, Disagree. This really was more of a build-up chapter. Not many major things happened in this one, but there are many things that are set up for major events to happen in the next few chapters. Built up quite a few things. For one, Ada now understands mostly why Vincent is the way he is. Everything kind of clicked this chapter after her conversation with younger Vincent, and now she's heading back with a newfound determination from that experience. Vincent himself currently is losing control of his chain, Dimios. I do wonder where Dormouse went, or if that chain's ever going to be relevant again, or if that was just a gag that he just dropped at some point through. I do wonder if he still has it or not. Maybe we'll find out, maybe not. Anyways, Doldy turning on Noise and hijacking her body is now a big possibility, and who knows what'll happen if that happens, how that'll affect everything, if Doldy will be more stable or less stable than Noise, and what'll happen to Echo in that case. Lastly, Noise just arrived herself and seems to be in a kill everything sort of mood. This all revolves around Vincent, who is proving to be very important in this endgame, not only because of these things, but also because he's a child of misfortune. I'm unsure if that aspect of him will become relevant again or not, but it's there nonetheless, especially after that incident with the juries. That proved that children of misfortune have far more power than they're given credit for. Further elaborating on Vincent, forgive me, I wasn't expecting him to turn Gil's earlier speech on its head like he did, saying that Gil nullifies Vincent's entire life by, saying what he said. It shows how deep a hole he's dug himself into, and emphasizes how difficult climbing out of that hole would be. I didn't know he was that far gone. I didn't know that Gil's speech actually pushed him away rather than made him question things. I thought that was going to be a turning point for Vincent's character, but it only pushed him further away. And that was a neat yet slightly painful surprise. But I do think Vincent will climb out of that hole. I don't think he's going to die. I don't think he's going to continue this same thought process he's had for the entire series by the end. So much focus has been placed on him, and he's survived through so much trauma already as it is. I mean, he might still die, but I just have a strong feeling he's going to survive. It seems like that Pandora Hearts is serving as his character arc also, especially considering how Oz's previous arc was about self-worth and to focus on that, and now Vincent's not exactly going through the same thing, but going through a similar phase of, not having any self-worth and everything. So this is already an established theme in Pandora Hearts. So I just really think that Vincent's going to make it out alive in this. Aside from that, another notable little highlight this chapter was Alice landing on Gil, like telling him to catch, and then him looking up, saying sure, and then realizing what she meant, and her landing on his back. That was a nice little touch of comic relief. As for Alice, like aside from the comic relief, I do hope she gets actually involved in what's going on somehow. Considering how she observed Glenn this chapter, it seems like she will. It seemed like that was kind of hinting towards that. But regardless as to whether she does or not, that was a nice little touch. It didn't wreck the tone or anything. It was just a nice little tiny gag before delving into all of the meat of this with Vincent and everything. All of that being said, with this chapter, I now have near complete faith that Mochijin will have time to properly finish the story. I won't lie, I was starting to waver a little bit, considering that volumes tend to have that max 5 chapters per volume. That pattern has been set in for every volume. And this is the 4th chapter in volume 23, the last volume of the series. If next chapter was the last chapter of the series, they would have said so at the end of this one, right? But they didn't. They said to be continued. that means the 5-chapter maximum pattern has been broken, and since that's broken, who knows how many chapters are left. Plus, the content of this chapter itself persuades me. How she's still carefully building up, even this late in the game. She's not rushing or anything. She's taking the time to craft the ending as well as she can. She hasn't stumbled, she's maintaining the quality the series has set. And this chapter shows that she has something specific in mind to happen with all these characters to do them justice by the end. The pieces are moving, and they're moving towards what looks like will be a hell of a payoff. And now the wait for next chapter begins. Until then, see ya.